And let's also quickly touch on interruption in PPC campaign due to funding issues, because this happens quite a bit for new sellers. So as a new seller, typically, Amazon will ask you to have a credit card on file.
Yep.
And since you don't have any sales yet, you will have more expenses, especially with your advertising. So you have two ways to pay for your advertising. One is you charge it to your seller account, which comes off of your sales, or you pay by credit card. So if you conveniently say, okay, I'm just going to let it, get deducted from my sales, but you don't have enough sales, Amazon will attempt to charge your credit card. And if that credit card is declined, the campaign will stop, right? So
if that happens to you, you are not paying attention. And that is when you need to bring in the experts, because you don't want to be out of stock. You don't want to stop advertising, because any of these things will greatly impact your launch.
Yeah. And what happens if your PPC is impacted? So you mentioned it takes a couple of weeks for out of stock.
Yeah, it's the same reason why when you buy an Amazon account, you don't want to transfer to a second Amazon account, because all that history on the PPC is data that the algorithm uses to help your sales. So it's important to keep that intact.
Yeah, you just mentioned something that I always tell people. I say, what is the most valuable thing about your Amazon account? And they say sales, my profits. I say my listings. I say, no, it's your PPC history, right? If you can't replicate that.
At least 2 weeks to recreate, anywhere close, and it could take months for it to be equal.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so you have so many things that you mentioned that are directly actionable for launches and then also going forward. But one thing that you mentioned that I want to repeat because it's so valuable. Put your favorite keywords, the most converting keywords in your pictures. So give us a
Yes.
little bit more, because Amazon does not allow text in main picture. But there are ways to some kind of appearance of it. So tell us a little bit more, because it's such a valuable tip.
So I'm going to demo this. So, and by the way, for your viewers, if you want to get one of these main images, 50% off, promo code CTR, go to myamazonguy.com/IMG. So this is my favorite of all time example. These two right here is the cookie baking sheets. On the left, you have a commodity item sold by a Chinese seller selling you pants. On the right, you're selling grandma's cookies. Which of the two would you rather buy? Which of the two would you rather click on? You can smell the difference between the two of them here. So, and this doesn't even require packaging. It's just a fake Photoshop label. Consumers will never ask you about this. I've never received a complaint. We've done this on thousands of items. I do take a little heat on social media about people thinking this is against TNC. But if you go to Amazon, you will find all of the major players do it. Zule Kitchen, one of the ones we looked at today, does it. Crest, Colgate, Dawn, all of these big brands do it. Here's my next favorite example, Happy Me Journal. I did this as a favor for a friend a couple years ago. This tripled his sales. We didn't touch his ads. He didn't even have A+ content. I don't even think he had a brand store at this point. We just switched his main image. We added the kids age 6 to 12 and called it a constitutional kids journal, and we showed inside of it. Seems like subtle changes, but I'm here to tell you it made a 3x sales difference, not just a 3x CTR difference, but a 3x sales difference. So if you add a keyword to the main image and tell the consumer what to do, how to use it, or add an ingredient or an outcome of the product, right? It's going to sell your products. When CTR goes up, click-through rate, your conversion goes up. When your CTR goes up, you get more traffic. You pay less for ads. Amazon will charge you less for ads. That's kind of a big deal.
Right, exactly. I mean, your click-through rate goes up. That means that Amazon algorithm thinks that what you are advertising is relevant to what people are searching, and therefore they're going to give you more click-throughs and I should say more traffic. And if your click-through rate is already good, you're going to get more traffic. It's the what they call the brand impression share. So let's imagine there are 1 million potential clicks for the keyword that you are advertising. Amazon is not going to give you all million, no matter how much you pay. They're going to give you a tiny percentage of it. But over time, they will slowly increase that percentage that they will drive to you based on how your listing is performing. And it starts with getting more people to click through your listing and then look at it. And if you increase click-through, you're going to increase the size of the pie of that traffic. And of course, the bigger the pie, the more traffic, and the more traffic, more orders. And it just goes from there. I always say this, there are two numbers that you can consider magic bullets for success on Amazon. One is click-through rate. The other is conversion rate. So increase your click-through, you're going to get more traffic. Increase your conversion, you're going to get more orders. Then everybody will be happy.
And the click-through rate is so much easier. So start there, because
Right.
fixing your main image might only take you a couple hours. Run a couple of A/B tests or whatnot.
Exactly.
Conversion could take you months to crack and run A/B
Exactly.
tests.
Exactly.